Out the lineups. Offensive line, John St. Clair starts again for John Tate, who's out but should be ready next week. And Olin Kreutz is going to the Pro Bowl. Muhsin Muhammad will start, so will Thomas Jones. But we'll see 5 wide receivers in the game for the Bears. And we'll also see Cedric Benson on first down. Grossman throws to the fullback, Jason McKee, and he's out of bounds back at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard gain. Stanley Wilson pushed him out of bounds. Lions defensively, Corey Redding with 7 sacks. Anthony Bryant, his first NFL start. The linebackers are led by Ernie Sims. He's had a terrific rookie season. He's the leading tackler on the team. The defensive back, Stanley Wilson, starting for the injured Fernando Bryant, out for the 2nd straight game with a concussion. On 2nd down, short drop by Grossman. Quickly out to Muhsin Muhammad. Makes the move to the inside, gets close to the 30-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like he's got enough for the first down. Stanley Wilson makes the tackle.
And this will be what Rex Grossman wants to do all afternoon. You know, when he got in trouble when he was going through that slump, he was pressing too hard. He said today what he wants to do is just be patient, play ball, take what the defense gives him. And you see there with the coverage, with the defender, Stanley Wilson, giving all that room, they're just going to run out routes and get first downs.
2 tight ends in for the Bears on first down. And Thomas Jones, and nursing some sore ribs, and he heads out of bounds. A loss of a yard on the play, chased out by Boss Bailey. Thomas Jones will start the game. He's had another terrific year, over 1,100 yards rushing, but they won't play him a whole lot because we'll see Cedric Benson, and the head coach says Benson has really been playing well. That's the player we drafted.
Well, and there's Benson right there, who was the number 4 overall and has been getting more reps. You know, a lot of people didn't think Thomas was going to play today, Thomas Jones. He came in with some rib injuries. They weren't so sure that he was going to suit up today.
2nd and 11, and it's Jones again, looking for a crease. Not much there. Good work up front by the Detroit Lions, as Jones gets back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd and 9.
And I would expect, and we saw that inside run there, a lot of it at number 71 there, Anthony Bryant, who is making his first start today. And here he is lined up on Olin Kreutz. Actually does a pretty good job there on Kreutz and allows his linebackers to run and hit. That will be a soft spot the Bears are hoping they can attack today.
3 wide receivers, Adrian Peterson in the backfield for the Bears on 3rd and 9. Grossman rush, throws outside, timing pattern, first down. Bernard Berrien, there's a flag on the play, but a good timing play as Berrien turned, there was the ball. 3 for 3 passing. Thomas Jones goes in motion. Grossman with time, dumps it off to McKee, the fullback. And that's a good pickup. And again, when Grossman talks about, when Rex Grossman talks about smart decisions, that's one of them. He
Perfect
looked downfield,
example.
dumped it off to the fullback, got 6 yards on first down.
Perfect example, and that's what he talked about. And here's McKee, who's going to end up leaking out right here in front. But during that time that he struggled, he was just trying to make big play every play. Said, look, if he looks downfield and goes through his reads and 1 and 2 are covered up, and you got to get to the check down, throw the check down.
2 tight ends in, Desmond Clark and Gabe Reed. Thomas Jones bounces it outside, and he's got some room. Good run by Jones, and he takes it out of bounds at the Lions' 40-yard line. Pickup of 13 on the play.
Well, they love this power running with Ruben Brown out leading the way. With a fullback, really a tight end, Gabe Reed there as well. That's the thing that Benson does so well, is he'll get to the line of scrimmage and then he'll read his blocks. That play designed to go right off the heel, right off the rear end of Ruben Brown, but Thomas Jones bounces it outside, and that's what he does so well. That's his vision that I still think Cedric Benson is looking to gather.
8th play of the drive for the Bears, and it's Jones, and he finds his crease, but then he's wrapped up by Ernie Sims.
And you can't underestimate the year that Thomas Jones has had. He's up over 1,100 yards, and that's splitting a lot of carries with Cedric Benson. Got 33 catches out of the backfield coming into the game today. I mean, to me, he is clearly their bell cow. I know the media wants to say, well, Cedric was the number 1 and he deserves the reps, and to me, it's not even close. I think Thomas Jones is a much more polished running back at this point.
You're right. Benson is coming on. They've got 3 wide receivers. Rasheed Davis is in as the 3rd wide out. Everybody out. Grossman plenty of time, goes short, and a flag on the play. Pass intended for Thomas Jones. First down, Bears at the 32. Again, 2 tight ends in. Jones goes in motion, and Grossman goes outside and completes it to Bernard Berrien. Short pickup to the 26-yard line. Very methodical drive. And that another thing that Rex Grossman was telling us in our meetings last night was take what the defense gives you. They play a deep cover 2 with 2 safeties back. Go to the short stuff.
And you can see that Stanley Wilson's in a bail mode right there. He's backing up. Once he got those hips turned and started to bail, that's just an adjustment by the receiver and quarterback, and Berrien broke it off for an easy pickup.
Berrien burned the Lions in the first meeting between these 2 teams. Grossman 5 for 5 to start the game. Desmond Clark motions. Jones finds a seam, lunges forward to the 21-yard line, and he's got another Bears first down. Terrence Holt, the safety, makes the tackle. Everybody talks about the Bears defense leading the way, and that's certainly their strength, but the offense has really added. Why are they a better team this year going into the playoffs? Much better offense.
These guys are averaging 28 points a game. Come on. One of the better scoring teams in the National Football League, and they can beat you by running it or passing it. That's the thing. They're multifaceted on offense this year.
Play fake. Grossman rolls, being chased by Jared DeVries, and he throws it away. Good pressure by Jared DeVries. First incomplete pass. Ruben Brown is a second alternate for the Pro Bowl. This is a guy who's made the Pro Bowl 8 times.
Well, he's had a good year. That whole offensive line, when you look at their O-line coach, Harry Heastan, and the continuity that he brought coming in with Ron Turner a couple years ago from Illinois, that group across the front is so much better than they were a few years ago.
2 tight ends on 2nd and 15. Everybody out. Grossman, he just burned it into Desmond Clark, and it takes 8 players to tackle Desmond Clark. 2 tight ends, 2 wideouts, and Thomas Jones on 3rd down. Grossman with time, and the hard pass is just wide of Bernard Berrien. Avion Cason starting at running back, gets it across the 25 up to the 26-yard line, as the Lions have had to go deep because of injuries. Offensive line, Jonathan Scott's 3rd NFL start, Stephen Peterman's 1st, Frank Davis's 2nd NFL start. Sean McHugh starting. He's the Penn State product at fullback, his 2nd NFL start. Arlen Harris was scheduled to start. Avion Cason is in at running back. They signed Lamar Gordon this week, and he should see some time. And a leaping run by Cason gets him out to the 37, but there's a flag on the play. Actually 2nd and 14 as Kidna drops deep, throws outside to the 2nd tight end, Casey Fitzsimmons. He's across the 25 to the 26-yard line and is shaken up on the play. The shotgun. Under pressure, he connects with Mike Williams. The ball knocked loose. It's incomplete. Mike Williams has been playing a little more of late, getting back in the good graces of the coaches on Fox. Rex Grossman, 6 for 8, has gone over 3,000 yards passing this season. Handing off inside for a yard gain. Let's get an update from the sideline and go to Jay Glazer. Jay.
Sam, it's pretty interesting down here because if you look into the crowd here at the stadium, I know it's a Lions home game, but you wouldn't think it was. If it's not 3/4 filled with Bears fans, it's definitely over half filled with Bears fans. It's just pretty wild. The fact that the Lions this week even had a practice with crowd noise despite it being a home game. That's what happens when the Bears are on a roll.
You're right. Gabe Reed lining up at fullback with Jason McKee out in a big hole for Thomas Jones as he gets up at the first down line at the 46. Time for an update for that. Let's go back to LA to Joe Buck.
All right, Sammy, it's a game that the Giants need. They're 7-7, off to a fast start. 55 yards from Eli Manning. It's the 10th of the year for Plexico Burress. 7-0 start. Now it's 7-3 with the Giants on top. Back to Detroit, Sam, Tim, and Jay.
Thanks, Joe. Dallas on top of the division. Eagles and Giants battling for a playoff spot. Giants need the game against New Orleans. 3 wide receivers in. It's Jones carrying. And a good tackle on the play by John McGraw, the safety. There is a flag on the play. That has been marked in 2. First and 20. Pressure on Grossman. Throws the screen to Jones. 2 blockers. Gets to the outside, out of bounds, up at the 47-yard line. Pickup of 11 on the play.
A lot of times when you get those young guys in here, we're talking about Bryant, he's going to want to get to the passer, run some screens at him, get those guys to slow it down a little bit. Now, he recognized that it was too late. The linemen were already out in front, and Kreutz and Roberto Garza just sealing guys up so we could get the perimeter. That's the beautiful thing about both of those guards now. As much as they run the power game and get after people, both of those guys will pull out in space and be very effective.
You see that? Rex Grossman, now the 4th Bears quarterback all time to have 3,000 yards passing in the season. Oh! Dre Bly, huge hit on tight end Gabe Reed just as he caught the ball. Man. Reed, the second tight end, shaking his head a little bit.
Those are the ones where you're telling the guy good hit before your rear end even hits the ground. Holy smokes. Watch him burst on this.
Oh. Fans like that one.
Don't think for a minute that doesn't rally up all 10 other guys on defense either.
Lions bring in Tyoka Jackson and Langston Moore at defensive tackles. Blitz from the outside. Grossman's pass is beyond Bernard Berrien. May have been tipped. Dre Bly cut across.
Sam, look where DeVell Ellis is. He's on the 3-yard line when he catches that football. That's a rookie mistake, but watch his guys help him out. Pow! Big block there. Some guys washing down. And the kicker, Maynard, fortunately gets him out of bounds. Gould gets him out of bounds.
Kicked into Roy Williams. And he's inside the 25 to the 23. Roy Williams, who is a first alternate for the Pro Bowl, says, hey, I'm not the 5th best receiver in the NFC. I should have been there.
He's salty, isn't he? It's just one of those dig routes that Mike Martz has made famous within that offense. Daniel Manning trying to cover Roy Williams in that little zone there. That's a mismatch.
5th in the NFL in receiving yardage. Lamar Gordon, just signed this week, is in the backfield, number 41 for the Lions at running back. Sean McHugh, the fullback. Kitna, some pressure, lets it go to the end zone. Getting Campbell, touchdown! It's an advantage, but they haven't won their first playoff round the last 2 times. Cedric Benson in at running back. Following Gabe Reed, gets up to the 27-yard line, pickup of a couple. Lovie Smith was high in his praise of Cedric Benson last night in our conversations with him. He said he's finally starting to get it. He's running like the back we saw at Texas, and this is why we drafted him number 1.
Well, and I asked him, can you put your finger on anything? Is there anything he's doing different now than before? He goes, I just think it's reps and opportunities in the league and trying to feel your way. He is a big-time downhill runner.
Gabe Reed lining up his fullback. Now everybody out. Grossman puts it up deep. Muhsin Muhammad wide open. Stayed in bounds and is down inside the 35. There were 2 Lions there, Dre Bly and Terrence Holt, and Muhsin was wide open.
Well, and Grossman had a long time to throw the football, and this ball almost gets swatted out from behind. Watch Kalimba Edwards after the pump. He just swipes at it and misses. And Rex able to step into that. This is that cover 2 where Dre Bly, oh, double move, got it. He thought he could get Dre Bly with some double moves too. Wanted to jump some of those routes. Good stop.
40-yard pickup. Double play fake. Grossman swings it out. Dropped by Gabe Reed.
Why do you think he dropped that? Remember the last time he was out in the flat?
Dre Bly.
Dre Bly about took his head off.
On the last reception by Muhsin Muhammad, that was his 700th of his NFL career as he hits a milestone.
talking to Moose, he said during that whole spell with Rex Grossman, never, ever did they lose confidence in him. So the guy's a young quarterback. Everybody looks at him like he's a 10-year veteran. It's really his first full year.
That's exactly right.
Had to learn to counterpunch.
3 wide receivers in, hands it off to Benson, takes it outside, and Benson drives forward to the 24-yard line. It's time for another game break, and for that, let's go to who else? Joe Buck, our guy.
All right, Sam, how about this? Capping a 16-play drive that took over 10 and a half minutes. The seldom used Jeff King with his first career touchdown catch. 7-3 Carolina on top of Atlanta. Back to Detroit.
Thanks, Joe. Happy holidays to Joe and to all the guys back in the studio. How'd you like Terry as the orchestra conductor?
Was he working it?
Great. He was great. I thought Joe might sing. 3rd down and short. Benson. And nothing there. Never got going, and he's shoved out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
We always talk about the 4-3 defense and the Tampa 2 and all that as the 3 technique being the guy. Watch Corey Redding. They're going to try to get him here, Roberto Garza. Watch him jam him into the backfield 2.5 yards to reestablish a new line of scrimmage.
And it looks like the Bears will go for it.
You cannot run front side, any type of inside or outside stretch play if that 3 technique is pushing that offensive guard back like that. That's terrific by Corey Redding.
It's 4th and 2, and Lovie Smith opts to go for it. Bears this season 7 for 11 on 4th down conversions. 3 tight ends in. Benson straight ahead, and he's got it. Well, he just lowered his head and drove forward. And that's a 1st down for the Bears at the 21-yard line. Holding up pretty well.
They are. I think Rod's got to be happy with how his team played that first quarter.
Grossman hit as he throws. That time, John St. Clair did not hold up. Kalimba Edwards got around him and had the big hit.
Boy, and they're hoping this guy right here, Kalimba Edwards, can really take off here in the next couple of games and into next year. And I saw Rod Marinelli working with him at practice on Friday, and it was really kind of a neat way of coaching defensive end plays. He said, get the basketball in your hand, pretend the quarterback's a hoop, and get to the rack and finish. And he started doing all kinds of moves and getting to the quarterback, and right there, a good illustration of turning the corner.
Thomas Jones back in, carries on 2nd down, good gain. Down to the 13-yard line, picked up about 8 on the play. Strong work up front by Kreutz, Garza, and Fred Miller.
Just a power run game, and watch Fred Miller's going to block down here. And that time he was able to win that battle on Corey Redding. Remember I said anything you run that way, you got to block that 3 technique. That time they chose to block down with the offensive tackle and got Corey Redding pushed out of the hole.
And Ruben Brown pulled from his left guard position. Good job. 3 wide receivers in. Rasheed Davis the 3rd. Thomas Jones is in the backfield on 3rd and 2. Grossman, some pressure, dumps it off, wide open. Berrien, touchdown. That's the play they felt they could work, that underneath play, and that's exactly what Grossman did. Found Berrien cutting across the field, and the Bears regain the lead.
And Rex wanted to go there, crossing route the whole way. He's looking, he's looking, he's looking. Now it clears, and he unloads it to a wide open Bernard Berrien. That's just a real good play call by Ron Turner, knowing the man coverage was there.
In Glendale, Arizona, with Ohio State and Florida. Grossman thinks his alma mater has a good chance to win that game. Quick toss is dropped by Roy Williams. Kintner trying to hit him in stride, threw it a little behind him. Williams and Nathan Vasher, the Texas alumni, going against one another, teammates at the University of Texas. That's a good matchup.
That is a good matchup, and one that we're going to watch all day, because Lovie Smith told us Nathan Vasher is going to shadow Roy Williams most of the day. You know, Roy said, Nathan, he said when he got to Texas, he goes, we questioned his scholarship. We said, this guy can't play.
He's terrible.
4 years later, he led the university in all-time interceptions. Said he should have been a first-round pick, and as Roy said, the Bears got a steal in the 4th round.
He told the Lions to pick him. Kintner's throw is incomplete, and again, flag on the play. Williams, the intended receiver. Vasher with a hit.
Said Nate Vasher's still there. Grab him in round 3. They didn't feel he was fast enough. The Bears got him in round 4.
Oh, bursting through is Alfonso Boone, the veteran who's taken over as the starter at defensive tackle with the injuries to Tommy Harris and the arrest of Tank Johnson, who's now under house arrest. But Boone just burst through.
Watch the left guard Frank Davis just not even be there. Dominic Raiola thought he had help there, and that's a heck of a job by Alfonso Boone penetrating the A gap in between the center and the guard. But there's no doubt in my mind, Dominic Raiola thought he had help from his rookie left guard. It wasn't there, and Boone comes up with a big-time sack.
Loss of 8 on the play. 3rd and 18. Boone's second sack of the season. Draw play. Avion Cason with room. Cason spins across the 20, and a flag is thrown. He's down at the 22-yard line, short of a first down.
Wrote some goals down in the spring, and he's reached them. He has really brought a new element of speed to the edge of that defense.
On first down, the completion to Berrien, who's back in the game. Little slant. Trey Bly with a tackle. 3rd catch for Bernard Berrien in the game.
And in talking about that defensive line with no Tommy Harris, no Tank Johnson at least this week, and Tank's going to be back next week, these guys are pretty good inside now. You talk about Ian Scott, the guy who started a bunch of games in the National Football League. There he is, Alfonso Boone. We've seen him make big plays. They've got the leadership with Alex Brown, Agulia out on the edges. That's Jerry Angelo in the...
There's Thomas Jones with a big run for a first down. Up close to the 40-yard line. 12-yard pickup. Jones has run the ball well thus far in the first half. Kenoy Kennedy made the tackle.
Get everybody slanting down. He's just going to cut it back. That's what Thomas does so well, is he sees everybody playing front side. He'll cut it back and then is able to get north in a hurry. But as always, finishing up with the Jerry Angelo stuff, that's just a good job by he and Lovie Smith at developing the bottom end of your roster, so when you do lose guys, you can plug other guys in and not lose a lot.
Cedric Benson in for Thomas Jones, who's carried 11 times for 59 yards thus far in the first half. Benson with a short pickup on first down up to the 42-yard line. Harris Lennon, the middle linebacker, made the tackle for the Lions. And one thing that Lovie Smith and Ron Rivera want to do in these remaining 2 games is set up a rotation with some of those defensive linemen for the Bears that you talked about. Israel Adonijah, Antonio Garay, who's getting time, and Alfonso Boone. Adrian Peterson in the backfield for the Bears on 2nd and 8. Grossman setting up a screen. It isn't there, and he throws it away. There's a flag on the play.
Away. Lovie Smith, I think he was in team management. They weren't leaning toward deactivating him for the season, but the players really got his back. Brian Urlacher, Olin Kreutz, the captains, really stood up there and said, Lovie, let's not abandon this guy.
You know, certainly, Sam, one of the top 3 rushing defensive tackles in the entire league.
Lions start from the 10-yard line with 2 tight ends. Short drop by Kidna, and the pass complete to Mike Furry. His second catch of the game is right at the first down line. 100th career reception for Mike Furry, who started as a wide receiver, just a walk-on with the St. Louis Rams for 2 seasons. Last year was a safety, and this year a wide receiver's had a great year.
And he knows right where to fit in that hole. You see that right between the linebacker and the corner. And Mike Martz said technically, Mike Furry is as good as they get. I mean, you talk Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, all of those guys. He understands the offense. I think he understands the most, Sam, is it's full speed all the time for Mike Martz.
Out of the shotgun, Kidna with 4 wide receivers hits Furry, who's out of bounds at the 25-yard line. He picked up 5 on the play.
And also Mike Martz said, you know, Furry's much more than a possession receiver. Everybody's labeled him now as that Ricky Prohl type and the guy that can just get you on the inside and sit down in the zone. He said, no way. He said he's got big-time heat. He can stretch a defense. He can pretty much do it all in this offense.
You have to credit Mike Martz with developing some people offensively, and Furry is one of them. I mean, he wanted him signed as a wide receiver, as a free agent this year, and he's done a great job. Kidna, deep, and the leaping attempt by Mike Williams off his hands, incomplete. Mike Williams has been such a huge disappointment here in Detroit. Former first-round draft pick.
The ambition of receivers is to catch the football. And again, that's not a perfect ball, but you go up and it hits you in both hands, you got to come down with it. And he's got priors. I mean, since he got here, he hasn't been able to hang on to the football. finally has earned a little more playing time with his practice habits and everything else. Sam, when you got a chance to make a play, heck, you got to make it.
On 3rd and 4, pressure from Anderson. He's got him. Sack number 11 for the rookie. There is a flag on the play. Mark Anderson, what a story he's become.
And watch what they do here. Watch him dial up this blitz. He's coming here. Ricky Manning's coming underneath him. Backus lets Anderson go. He's going to let him go, fall back inside, and Avion Cason is late getting over there to try to seal the edge before Mark Anderson can close the gap for the sack. He sees Green Bay. Yeah.
Bears at the Lions 49. No gain on the play. Maybe a loss. That's good penetration on the play. Cedric Benson taken down by Corey Smith. It's a loss of a yard. Coming down to the 2-minute warning. Lions have always played the Bears tough here in Detroit. Bears won here last year in overtime. The previous 3 games here at Ford Field were won by the Lions. Bears trying to sweep the series. Grossman with time. Outside, he's got Muhsin Muhammad. Flag on the play. And Muhammad out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. Check out the flag. 30 Eastern time, 4:30 Pacific, and high def. Grossman throwing to Muhsin Muhammad. Was he inbound? No, they roll him out of bounds, incomplete. Coverage by Stanley Wilson and Kanoe Kennedy on Muhsin Muhammad. Well thrown pass by Rex Grossman.
Well, and that's the area too. If you're going to play some of the cover 2 and some of the other things, you're going to see him get out to this hole behind the corner in between the safety. He's going to go up and get it.
And no.
That's a good call.
2nd and 10 for the Bears. Cedric Benson spinning off one man. Hard to tackle inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
And I think that's the kind of thing they want to see a little more out of Cedric Benson. Being patient with his blocks, because he is a downhill guy, and we know all power backs in this league. You get it. Coaches don't want you going sideways. But when you're running that power game and you're waiting for your pullers and you're waiting for guys to get out in front of you, you got to be patient and wait for them and then cut off of their block, which he was able to do there and squeeze up inside for 7.
Taris Lennon, the middle linebacker for the Lions, limped off the field. On 3rd down, Grossman under pressure, throwing and completing to Desmond Clark inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Oh, perfect pass. Pickup of 22 on the play. Clark caught 7 passes for 125 yards, a career high last week in the game against Tampa Bay. And that's a big one.
Now, he's had a terrific year, and they have him split out here. So he's going to just get inside. And just using that big body. We've seen that a few times in this game today. And there he is. They've got him lined up out there kind of in that double slot behind the nickel guy and in front of the safety. And it just seems like when Desmond Clark is on his game and when the tight end is playing well for Rex Grossman, it's like everything starts to run downhill after that.
And there'll be a lot of pressure on him, and he's aware of that going into the playoffs. But he's been sharp. And it's 1st and goal, Bears at the 7-yard line. Grossman with time, swings it out. Adrian Peterson inside the 5, down to the 2. Once again, good decision by Rex Grossman. No one open in the end zone. Give it to Peterson, who's a good man out of the backfield.
Yeah, he's not going to make mistakes with an opportunity to get points down in the red zone. Trying to look things off and then just going with his little check down out there.
Peterson remains in, 3 wide receivers. Peterson to the goal line, pushing his way. He's in, touchdown. Strong run for Adrian Peterson, his 2nd touchdown of the season. And the Bears finish off a good drive.
Adrian Peterson is so much stronger than he's listed in terms of that 210 with his weight. You don't get him down, and is a guy that is capable, I think, of starting for a lot of teams in the National Football League. That was all 2nd and 3rd effort.
Versatile back,
And that's what you want. You play the blocks perfectly at the point of attack. You got your linebackers filling tight. Watch Pinckney, 62. Pow, he's got him wrapped up right there. Adrian Peterson just keeps churning the feet, chopping them, and is able to squeeze it over that plane to the goal line.
Big John St. Clair gave him a little extra push after he finished blocking the defensive end.
He's a very underrated player.
Why are the Bears better going into the playoffs this year? Better offense, better special teams. Completion to Mike Furry up at the 32-yard line. Lance Briggs with a stop.
Well, you think about it, and just Danielle Manning was their top pick as a playmaker. Really good stuff.
Right behind was Devin Hester. Kitna hit as he throws long, way down for Mike Williams. Did he hold on? Yes, he did. Mike Williams with a catch.
I think he's calling it incomplete.
Well, one official said it was a catch. The other, now there's a discussion, three-way talk.
This will be the best look at it. Watch his left foot. The right one's down right there. Here comes the left one.
That's out. Yeah, it's on the white.
It almost looks like it was in. That looks like a Bear's foot.
Getting rolling short and a huge hit from Brian Urlacher to end the first half. Well, there's still 1 second on the clock. Urlacher's heading for the locker room. There's 1 second on the clock.
Let's call him Urlacher. Holy smokes.
Come on back, Brian. One more play. One more snap. He thought that was a perfect way to end the half.
You know, he's down about 10 pounds this year, and his speed is just showing up everywhere.
Some sort of motivational speech. His to me at halftime was, hey, we got to keep chopping wood. Imagine a blade, and you keep chopping wood. Well, you got to keep that thing sharp. You got to sharpen it up, and that's what we're doing at halftime. Got to love Rod.
The glaze.
Thanks, Jay. Avion Cason on a draw play. It's up to the 47-yard line. Excuse me, that's Arlen Harris on the carry to start the second half. And a good run by Arlen Harris.
Pretty good block out here by Jonathan Scott as he's going to turn out and just push Agunlia by as he's rushing the passer. Raiola is able to seal it down inside on Urlacher, and Arlen Harris just squeezes through there. Now this is another guy that was in St. Louis with Mike Martz who brings a little wiggle to the backfield.
Lions had all of 21 yards rushing in the first half, and that Arlen Harris run was for 18.
Here's the deal. The Lions need to catch the football. I mean, bottom line, and they have had opportunities, and Mike Martz knows it. We've seen Roy Williams with a couple of drops. We've seen Mike Williams with a couple of drops, and that has not allowed them to retain the football in terms of the time possession. Doubled up in terms of minutes, doubled up in terms of plays, in contrast to the Bears. 0 for 6 in the first half on third down because they haven't been able to hang on to the football.
Roy Williams has one catch. Mike Williams has none. There's a quick slant to Mike Furry. Furry's the guy who holds on to the football, and he's got a first down at the Bears' 37-yard line.
That's a good read by John Kitna because he sees everybody coming over here, and then watch the opening on the slant right in front of the nickel corner, Ricky Manning. And John identified that with his pre-snap read. All the blitz coming from the strong side. He's going to look back weak to the quick slant.
Pickup of 14, 4 catches in the game for Mike Furry. Gives him 81 on the season. Short drop. Pass complete to Dan Campbell, the tight end. Broken tackle, gets down to the 27, but there's a flag on the play.
Man.
3 wide receivers in for the Lions on 1st and 20, and again quick this time to Mike Williams, and he holds on. Gets down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Lance Briggs with a
another good read. Another good read by John Kitna because Manning's coming on the blitz, which frees up Mike Williams right there. That's a good adjustment by Mike Williams too, recognizing that the guy he's man up is going to come off the corner on the blitz. He runs the right route, which is the slant. He's able to get 4 or 5.
2nd and 6. And it's Arlen Harris taking it outside. Lowered the shoulder and gets down to the 27-yard line. Looks like he's got enough for the first down. Brian Urlacher on the stop. Good run, a hard run by Arlen Harris.
57 now because 2 more times today Kitna's been taken down.
Avion Cason in at running back, takes the toss from Kitna, picks up a block, and and gets down to the 20-yard line. Good drive for the Lions. Hunter Hillenmeyer in on the tackle for the Bears. Hillenmeyer comes to the sideline. 2nd and 7 for the Lions. Antonio Garay and Israel Adonijah have come in for the Bears on the defensive line. Into being pressured. Stepped away from the rush. Throws it in the end zone. Touchdown, Mike Furrey. The reliable Mike Furrey beat Danielle Manning. Begins at the 26-yard line. Gabe Reed, the tight end, lines up at the fullback slot with Jason McKee out. He suffered an ankle injury. Thomas Jones carries up to the 29-yard line. Picks up about 3 on the play.
Good first half for Rex Grossman. He made all the right decisions. He did exactly, Sam, what he told us he was going to do yesterday in the meetings that we had with him. Take what the defense gives him. Don't try to press too much down the football field. You can see his percentage right about where he's been in terms of being on the season, but the no turnovers and making the right decisions is what hallmarked his first half.
Varian with 4 catches, Musa Muhammad with 3. Thomas Jones in motion. And that pass intended for Bernard Varian, thrown wide. And it brings up a 3rd down for the Bears. Thomas Jones has carried 12 times in the game, 62 yards.
And you can tell what Rod Marinelli and his defense have tried to deploy here on the last several times Rex Grossman has dropped back to pass. I mean, usually Rod, the safe cover 2, rushing 4, keeping 7 back, the 2 deep safeties. Last 3 or 4 times Rex Grossman has passed the football going back to the 2nd quarter. He has sent the blitz with these linebackers.
3 wide receivers in. Rasheed Davis is the 3rd. Being rushed and he's sacked. Corey Smith, the defensive end, with the sack.
Lewis and one of those guys, it's a lot more powerful than he looked.
2nd and half a yard. Harris goes outside. Nice little cutback. 1st down into Bears territory at the 49. And it's time for another NFL update. Joe Buck knows what's going on. Joe, tell us.
Well, not really, but it kind of feels like I do sometimes. Sammy, it is a touchdown throw, a little catch and run by Steven Jackson. 64-yard touchdown to make it a 7-point game. Rams have the ball back. They're on the march trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Sam, Tim, Jay, back to you.
Thanks, Joe. Thin playoff hopes for the Rams. They try to stay alive. Kitten just dumped that at the feet of Dan Campbell because the screen pass had 3 Bears defenders around it.
Now they played it well. If you respect the NFL, you got to respect Rod Marinelli and what he's all about.
He's still stirring the cement.
He's stirring the cement. He says, I can't let that cement get hard. He said, because that's my foundation. Still adding a little water here, a little more cement here, trying to get it figured out before it hardens up. I'll tell you, Sam, give him a lot of credit. I mean, this team hasn't laid down all year long. They fought hard for their coach.
Everybody out, and he finds the tight end, the fullback, Sean McHugh, the first-year man out of Penn State, is out of bounds at the Bears' 39-yard line. His first catch of the game.
And I think that's a tremendous credit to Rod, how his guys have just stayed up and have played for him. And in the 12 losses this year, I know in 10 of them, they had an opportunity at the end of the game to either tie it or win the football game. So they've been in most of their games. The biggest thing that he told us is he stirs that cement and gets the foundation. That foundation will be guys that have learned to finish.
Let's get Jay Glazer's view. Jay?
Last night, Rod Marinelli last night actually talked to his team with that speech. You know what he said? This is a 2-win team. He said, guys, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for not giving up. I'm proud of you for seeing what I see out there. And as you guys keep saying, he just keeps going forward and forward. He said, I'm not going to take a step back. These guys, even though we only have a couple wins, they see my vision. They see it. And I think I was just shocked, guys, when he told me that he walked into a 2-win team and said, hey, I'm proud of you guys.
But, Glaze, isn't that the Rod Marinelli that we've all known for years? He changed a bit.
Yeah, and in talking to Lovie Smith also, Lovie said every time he talks to the guy, you'd think that maybe one day he was down. Not a single day. He talks to him every week. He said never once does he veer from his path.
Getting a deep drop, throws outside, and that is ruled a catch.
No, I think that
Williams.
ref saying the ball moved.
Okay, one ref came in, said signal catch. Now it's overruled, incomplete.
Roy still thinks he has a first down or a penalty.
Threatening to at least tie the game and maybe regain the lead. Kidna wanted to go to the end zone, goes short, and completes it to Arlen Harris out of the backfield, down to the 18-yard line.
This is an area where I've been surprised all year. Roy Williams does not have a red zone touchdown. Despite his numbers and being way up there in the NFC in yards and 70-plus catches and all that stuff, how surprised is it when you look at the numbers that all year long, no touchdowns down in the money zone for number 11?
Well, you know teams are trying to take him out of the game. Kitna throws to Williams. He's heading toward the end zone. He's down at the 5. Vasher took him down. There's that matchup, the University of Texas matchup. And Williams gives you the first down sign on a 14-yard gain again.
And catches him again in a frontside blitz. You see Lance Briggs coming from his linebacker position, which is going to open up that throwing lane. They've been picking him apart all day long. This Bears defense has been extremely aggressive in blitzing their slot corners and their outside linebackers. So those slant routes have been there for the Detroit Lions.
Ninth play of the drive for the Lions, with two tight ends in, Campbell and Pollard. Harris cuts it back inside, gets down to the 2-yard line. The Bears were tremendous, dominant last week against Tampa Bay in the first half. Second half, the defense fell apart to an extent, giving up some big plays. And here the Lions, here in the third quarter, are threatening to make it 2 touchdowns here in the third.
I think the Bears are doing some things differently, and I know they want to win this football game, but I think on defense, they're doing stuff they haven't done all year. A, to show people different looks that are going to be studying them for the postseason, and B, to get their defenders uncomfortable for the postseason.
In motion, Furry. Harris, big hole, but it closed up in a hurry. He's down at the 2, and it'll be 3rd and goal for the Lions. Ian Scott made the tackle.
Even in talking to Levy in that second half, the way it went with Tampa last week, I said I was really surprised, as far up as you guys were, that you weren't in your cover 2, which is a staple of what he does when his team's ahead. A lot of cover 3, a lot of man coverage and different things. He goes, we're just trying to do stuff to give our guys different looks, get them uncomfortable. You never know what's going to happen in the playoffs.
3 wide receivers in. And the toss to Roy Williams, and he's got it, touchdown. There's his first red zone touchdown of the season, his 5th.
The perimeter down in the red zone.
Here's Grossman. Now he's got to lead the Bears back as he throws. Ball tipped off the hands of Muhsin Muhammad as he was covered by Stanley Wilson. Cedric Benson in at running back. Gabe Reed lining up as the fullback. Off the fake. Grossman going deep. He's got Bernard Berrien. And he's got it. Did he hold on? No. Oh, what a tremendous effort on the deep throw as he beats Stanley Wilson. And Berrien may be shaken up on the play. He stretched out as far as he could, and he had it momentarily.
And it looked like the ground is what knocked it out, at least from up here. And seeing these corners get beat by double moves all day long on both sides. Here's a little stutter, just enough to slow down Stanley Wilson. It looks like he had it, and as he went to the ground, just hitting his elbows on the ground is what popped that ball up and out, it looked like. He's got it there, he's got it there. Yeah, he lost it before he got to the ground.
Well thrown ball by Rex Grossman. And Berrien never had it.
Nope.
Never had possession. And he walks off under his own powers. Lions, 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns thus far in the second half. Kitna off the play fake. Pass is batted away, intended for Roy Williams. That time Nathan Vasher had it well covered.
And they're going to continue to go to the well with Roy Williams. And that's why Mike Martz has talked about all year long, full speed all the time, because if you get you a little bit of a hot hand, we're going to keep coming back to you. And that's just really well played by Nathan Vasher on that little comeback route. But And that's and what Roy will tell you, he said Mike Martz has brought his game, Sam, to the highest level.
New level.
He said, I will carry that with me no matter what for the rest of my career, is how he showed me how to play in terms of the tempo.
Wants to work out with Corey Holt and Isaac Cruz in the offseason. That was batted away by Alex Brown. Good play by the defensive end. He got the hand up quickly. Brings up a 3rd and 10 for the Lions. Roy Williams was upset not being named to the Pro Bowl, and we were talking with him about it. And by the end of the conversation, he said he might go if someone doesn't go.
Right?
Yeah, he's the first alternate. So if someone doesn't go, he gets to go. At first he said he wouldn't. He wants to be.
He's got too much pride.
Yeah. He wants to be voted there. But afterwards he thought about it and said, hey, maybe I should go to be with those great receivers. For Williams, and Danielle Manning broke that one up. The 2 safeties were back there, Manning and Chris Harris. And Manning is the man who batted it away.
He's all over the place, having his guys talking about running down in your lanes and all the directional and angle punting. His units have played well.
Their start from the 24, Cedric Benson takes it up to the 27-yard line. Rex Grossman, who was 16 for 26 passing in the first half, is 0 for 4 thus far in the 3rd quarter.
You just wonder when we're going to see Brian Greasy. I know Jay Glazer had talked about he'll be in here sometime in the 3rd quarter, if not early 4th. Do you want Rex to end on these last couple of drives where things haven't gone good for him?
You want him to get the lead and then take him out of the game. 2 tight ends in for the Bears. Grossman throws it away. That'll bring up a 3rd down. Tyoka Jackson and Ernie Sims with pressure on Rex Grossman. There's the 12-year veteran, Tyoka Jackson.
I'll tell you, Donnie Henderson's group on the back end have done a good job in coverage. A little combination route there, and an angle route and a little out route. And there's Donnie Henderson there, the defensive coordinator.
3rd and 7 for the Bears. With 3 wide receivers in. Rasheed Davis is the 3rd wide out. Adrian Peterson is in the backfield. Lions showing blitz. Here they come. Grossman throws it deep, and it's caught by Davis. Rasheed Davis at the Lions' 46-yard line. They picked up the blitz, and Grossman hit his man. 29-yard pickup.
And what a heck of a throw by Rex Grossman in the back door. He loves this matchup. McGraw on Rasheed Davis. Watch where he throws this ball. That's the back door, because McGraw was in good shape trying to cover that over the top. He just hits him on the back shoulder right there for Rasheed Davis. How big was that play he came up with last week in overtime against Tampa Bay?
Huge. 1st down. Play fake to Benson. Throws to Benson. One-on-one with Stanley Wilson, who tripped him up, but it's an 8-yard pickup down to the Lions' 38-yard line.
I think this is the area, and Stanley Wilson slipped on that play, and Benson was able to find some space, but they'd like to see Benson, I think, become a better receiver out of the backfield. I think that's one area, and you look at Thomas Jones, a bunch of catches. Benson, I think, only had 7 coming into the game today.
And what you said before, though, more reps, you know, he's only going to get better. I think his attitude and approach have gotten better. His work habits have gotten better. Grossman with time. Goes deep again. Wide open Muhsin Muhammad. It's overthrown. That time he had his man, and Muhsin is looking back. He knows he was wide open. He had the touchdown.
Well, Jamar Fletcher jumped this thing bigger than Dallas. Watch him jump up inside on this double move. Right there, the little stutter step. Fletcher, who's had a pick in the last couple of games, thought he was going to go steal another one.
I didn't think anything was bigger than Dallas. Yeah, you're right about Fletcher there. Here's 3rd and about 1.5 yards. Fletcher has replaced Gray Bly for the Lions. Adrian Peterson takes it outside. Stanley Wilson trying to wrap him up, and Peterson forced his way down to the 35, and he's got a 1st down.
He has got underrated power, Sam. We've been talking about that. Stanley Wilson had him. Had him behind the 1st down stick, had the momentum to pull him down. but the balance and the lower body strength, the leg strength of Adrian Peterson allowed him to keep his balance and reach out for the first down.
He's checking the video board to see about.
So look how sweet he
wants
looks.
to check the play.
First of all, good job bouncing it out, because there's nothing there in terms of lanes at the point of attack. And right here is where that leg strength, to be able to stay on your feet right there and bounce back forward, what it's all about.
Benson on first down, breaks through the hole. Nice run down to the 25. And that's a 10-yard pickup and a first down for Cedric Benson.
And anytime guys are just getting downhill, watch the offensive line blocking right here at the point of attack. And that's just a good job by Fred Miller, hanging down in there on the double team, pushing down the defensive tackle, and allowing his other guys, Anthony Metcalf on a pull, to get up on a linebacker.
9 carries for 34 yards for Cedric Benson. Mark Bradley in the game. Benson takes it outside, slips one man. Harris Lennon takes him down at the 22-yard line. 3-yard gain on the play for Cedric Benson. Placing Ruben Brown, just resting him, we're told, from the sideline. Adrian Peterson in the backfield. Grossman swings it out to Peterson. And he fights his way down to the 20-yard line. The Bears, as we've talked about, have an outstanding running game led by Thomas Jones, the slasher.
Oh, he's the bell cow, no question.
Over 1,100 yards rushing this season. And then the other guy is Cedric Benson, the first-round draft pick a couple of years ago out of Texas. He's the power guy, and he's getting better.
Well, and you can sense that his confidence, and look at that run last week, running over Jermaine Phillips to get in for a touchdown. You can sense that his confidence, I think he finally feels like he belongs in the pro game, Sam.
3rd and 5 for the Bears. Grossman has time, nobody open. Buys time, looking downfield. Throwing, throws it away.
Yeah, they're going to get a late hit on Grossman out of bounds.
He was hit. Cleveland Pinckney is the man.
Foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 98.
Oh, they call it on Kalimba Edwards.
Automatic, first down.
Edwards and Pinckney
No, it was
were
on
chasing
Pinckney.
him.
It was on Pinckney, not on Kalimba Edwards.
Okay.
And good coverage. Stanley Wilson on Bernard Berrien here. Man coverage, so he keeps his eye on the receiver the whole time. And over here, they're going to run some zone and just sitting and watching the quarterback, and then there it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, and he tried to let up, but Pinckney enough to. Yeah, and you see Rod Marinelli. That's stupid football is what he's saying to Cleveland Pinckney.
With Pinckney on the sideline, he is hearing it.
Great coverage, and you give a team a first down in the red zone with your backs against the wall.
He's hearing it loud and clear from the head coach.
And it's stuff like that. It's not just the playing on the field. It's behavior patterns like that Rod Marinelli is trying to change here in Detroit.
1st and goal for the Bears, right on the 10-yard line. Cedric Benson behind Gabe Reed. Gets a yard, that's all. Good work by the Lions. Alex Lewis in on the tackle, despite all the injuries and new men in the lineup. The Lions have given quite an effort, and they lead going into the 4th quarter. Guys like Anthony Bryant.
Their best defense has been their offense, Sam, here in the second half.
Yeah. But guys like Bryant and Smith have done a nice job. The linebackers have gotten pressure. 3 wide receivers for the Bears. Grossman starting to run, shovels it to Benson, and he's hit hard by Jamar Fletcher. Grossman was going to run it himself, then sort of pitched it out on the option play to Benson, and Benson took a hard hit, a loss on the play.
And Rex just cannot throttle himself down when it comes to plays like this. He's a gamer. He's not thinking about managing anything. He's not thinking safety first football. He's thinking about making a play, and he's able to get away with it here, Sam, as Benson just gets hammered by Jamar Fletcher, but really not an intelligent play when you think about it, serving it up in the mix right there.
3rd and goal for the Bears. Adrian Peterson in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. Grossman being pressured and sacked. Tyoka Jackson got him. 2nd sack of the game. This was pre-game. Here's Robbie Gould in the corner, off the tee, trying to hit the uprights, kicking for accuracy.
What is that? Is that what that looks like? Your 8-iron.
I wish. And this one is right through. He doesn't want to hit the uprights this time. Not when he's got him right in front of him. 3 on the board. Bears trail by 1. 14. Short drop by Kitten. It completes for Roy Williams. Wrapped up by Danielle Manning, but a pickup of a first down up to the 40-yard line. Gain of 14. Jay Glazer, what do you got?
Well, Sam, I told it to you at halftime that Lovey eventually wanted to get Brian Griese in. Finally got his helmet on, warming up. So it looks like Griese's finally going to get him, but it also shows you just how much Lovey Smith still wants to win this game. Now, he wanted to get Griese in sometime in the third quarter. He waits until now to get him in because obviously the Bears are still behind. And just talking to him was very interesting. He has 2 mentors, obviously, Tony Dungy and Mike March, and they have 2 completely different ways on how they approach a game like this. With Tony Dungy wants to make sure that he ends up getting his guys rest. On the other side, Mike March said, hey, when I was there and the Rams were in this situation, guys, we had to make sure we had momentum going in this game.
Blitz the edges with their safeties and outside backers.
Draw play by Arlen Harris, and that time, nowhere. Great job up front by Antonio Garay, the second-year defensive lineman out of Boston College.
Boy, what a heads-up play. Keeping your eyes up so you can see. Watch him stun in there, but he's going to keep his eyes up in between the offensive guy there and Frank Davis to go get himself a tackle for loss. Anything other than a sack for a defensive lineman, in particular a tackle, Sam, if they can get a tackle for loss, which means behind the line of scrimmage, that's a big-time play.
Furry in motion. And it's batted down. Ian Scott, who batted down a couple last week, does a good job in the middle of the line, getting the arms up and batting down passes.
He does it as good as anybody in pro football. And you're going to see him right here. He's going to be double teamed, and he's stalemated on the line of scrimmage, so why not make the quarterback throw through the fence and getting your hands up? He did it 2 or 3 times last. It's all about timing. He's just good at it. Bottom line, I mean, he thinks about it, he practices.
3rd and 17. They have to get to midfield for a first down. Kitna has time. Throwing short, coming across the field was Mike Williams, and he is hauled down. Lance Briggs got him by the ankle, and Brian Urlacher finished him off. And Brian Griese is in the game. He'll be playing for the first time since October 29th. It's the 5th game he has seen time in. He throws on first down to Gabe Reed. And the tight end / fullback gets up to the 17-yard line. You put on the Santa hat. Good job by you.
We're getting close, aren't we?
And you know what? It says I've been good. You know, you have been good.
Have I?
Yes.
Would you? I told Santa. I wrote him a letter.
Good job. Look at that hat. Now
I've been good. See that?
He's leaving here, and he's going to take his slave all the way back to California and deliver. Good job by you. First down. Again, completes to the other tight end, Desmond Clark, up to the 25. Brian Griese came into the game having thrown 8 passes this season, 7 for 8. See the career numbers?
Yeah, he's got 9 years in pro football. Obviously his best with Denver, went to Miami, then over to Tampa, did some good things, had a knee injury, came here, and really has made this football team better. It's been a healthy competition. No question he outplayed Rex Grossman in the preseason, but made Rex a better player.
Benson with a run for a first down up to the 30-yard line. So the Bears come out of the shadow of their own end zone and are up to the 30-yard line. Rex Grossman, 20 for 36. 1 touchdown. The best news, no interceptions for the 3rd consecutive game.
Yeah, he played fairly well.
Couple of questionable throws.
Absolutely. He escaped a couple of bad spots. But he's finished up pretty strong here and getting ready for his little Super Bowl run.
Griese going right back. Got time, throws, completes to Mark Bradley. Shoved out of bounds across the 40-yard line. At the 41, another first down for the Bears. Bradley's first catch of the game, a gain of 11.
Here's what the pro game's all about. Watch Metcalf recover. He's beat by Corey Redding right there. But in the pro game, unlike college, those offensive linemen have the ability to recover. Was able to push him by to give Griese enough time to step up and fire it to Bradley.
Brian Griese's been a good insurance policy for the Bears to have. He's showing his value here, moving his team, trying to get into scoring position. Short drop, nobody open, in trouble, throws it away as he was hit. Kalimba Edwards, always dangerous from the outside, and Cleveland Pinckney with pressure from the inside.
And you wonder when Kalimba Edwards is going to take off under the tutelage of Rod Marinelli and become the impact player that Simeon Rice has become for the Tampa Bay Bucks, being coached by Rod Marinelli. He has got so much ability that I think is still untapped. Guy was a second-round pick. He's been here for a while. It's time to him step up and really start producing big numbers.
Adrian Peterson in the backfield takes the pitch, cut it upfield. Short gain on the play up to the 43-yard line. Will bring up a 3rd and long for the Bears. Alex Lewis made the tackle for Detroit. Lions will end the season next week in Dallas. Could be a very important game for the Cowboys as they jockey for
what's going on with
position.
Those Giants today?
Giants are getting whipped badly in New York at the Meadowlands, I should say in New Jersey, 30-7 by New Orleans. New Orleans looking to wrap up the number 2 seed in the NFC. They battled Dallas for that spot. Pressure on Griese. The throw is caught by Bradley. Kept the feet in bounds at the Lions 42. Good job by Griese. Bought some time and found Bradley for 15.
Well, and stepping up is what allows him to buy the time here, because Kalimba Edwards almost gets his hands up on this ball. But see how Griese just stepped up? That's a veteran quarterback. Knowing the pressure's coming when you don't even see it, step up, buy yourself some time, open up that throwing lane, and deliver a strike. Griese looks really good here early in the 4th quarter since he's gotten in the game.
Nice job by Bradley, getting the feet down in bounds. Cedric Benson at running back. Blitz coming from Paris Leonard. Griese throws it. Bradley comes back to the ball. And what could have been a long loss turned into a gain of a yard, but 2 flags have come in.
And just playing smart football, but Benson steps up and does a good job of getting enough of Paris Leonard so that Griese could get away from him. And then there's the face mask hanging on by Jamar Fletcher.
First down, Bears at the Lions 26. Benson takes it outside, gets down to the 21-yard line. A pickup of 5 on the play. Well, the Bears are in field goal position as they look to take the lead.
Well, that's pretty good speed right there by Cedric Benson, because Ernie Sims can flat out run. I mean, he has got big-time speed, the linebacker. And watch Benson just outrun him to the flank. They got him slanting down. He's going to come out here. Watch 50, Ernie Sims. I mean, he's got to get in a trail position. Benson's got speed now.
On 2nd down, Griese with time. Throwing to the end zone, overthrows Bernard Berrien. See the sunlight that is filtered through here in the Dome Stadium.
This is a great venue. This
really is.
Really one of the top 2 or 3 indoor stadiums in the whole league.
And nice to know that it is sunny outside as well. There's a big play for the Bears, who've driven from their 7-yard line to the Lions 21. Tyoka Jackson in at defensive tackle for the Lions. 10 plays, 72 yards on this drive. Griese rolls and throws, batted away. Tried to get it to Rasheed Davis. Jamar Fletcher got the hand in to bat it away. Was it Stanley Wilson.
They try to roll Griese out to the right, escape a little traffic. And that's just a real good job of recognizing it by Stanley Wilson to come and just undercut it and get that thing batted down. I'm not so sure that was going to be a first anyway if Rasheed Davis did catch it. Like Stanley Wilson was in position to get him down before the first down mark anyway.
Now the Bears looking for the lead. Robbie Gould from 39. And it is right through. He's 3 for 3 in the game. The Pro Bowl field goal kicker is perfect today, and the Bears have the lead again. It's 23-21. And had a happy Hanukkah, and those of you who are about to celebrate Christmas. We wish you all the best. John Kitten under pressure, throws, and he finds Arlen Harris out of the backfield. Pickup of 9 on the play, up to the 32-yard line. Excuse me, the 27-yard line.
Well, and a pretty good job by Kitten moving around here, because guys are right in his face, and almost a little jump pass to unload that one over the middle. I'll bet you don't see those Bears blitzing the edge on this ever important drive.
Bears still have their regulars on defense. They're showing blitz. And outside to Roy Williams, and he broke 2 tackles. And Danielle Manning saved a huge gain. Roy Williams broke 2 tackles on the play. First Vasher. And it's a first down for Detroit.
I don't understand it. They did it again. Hillmeyer's going to move up here. Then Manning's going to come up. They both go, which is going to open that passing lane right there for the slant. And there's no way Urlacher can get over there from his middle linebacker position to get in that throwing lane. That's easy pickings all day long.
Mike Williams in as a 3rd wide receiver for the Lions. At their own 36. Pressure coming from Anderson. He's got him. Mark Anderson forced a fumble, and it's recovered by the Bears. Oh, the rookie. With tremendous speed, tremendous pressure, another sack, and the first turnover of the game.
Remember all the speed rushes he's been taking around the corner around Jeff Backus? Everything's been over here. Watch what he does this time, coming up and coming underneath. Backus thought he was taking the edge. He comes underneath, gets that right hand in there. That is a huge play at this point in the game to help this team preserve a W.
Wally Agunlia with the recovery, but it was Mark Anderson with the hit and the sack. 2 sacks in the game, 12 on the season for the rookie Mark Anderson. Cedric Benson gets down to the 31. The Lions have now committed a turnover in 18 straight games.
And a lot of
they are.
He's certainly going to be worthy of being talked about for Rookie of the Year.
We'll be together for Christmas, and he wanted to make sure he said hello. Benson is slammed back at the 31. Good job by the Lions, and another timeout
to win football games.
Adrian Peterson in the backfield for the Bears on 3rd and 9. Greasy gets time. Completes it to Berrien, and he is stopped short of the first down. Good job by the Lions. Berrien forward progress to the 26. Field goal kicking unit comes out. Good job by John McGraw on the tackle of Bernard Berrien. And here's a big one for Robbie Gould coming up.
Well, he makes it, then they've got to score a touchdown. A field goal doesn't beat him.
This will be a 44-yard try. Gould is 3 for 3 today. And make it 4 for 4. Robbie Gould with plenty of leg. Urlacher likes it. The defense came up with a big turnover, and the offense gets 3 points on the board. Bears lead the league with points off turnovers. What a great show. That is a do not miss. Out of the shotgun. Now it's Kitna's turn to try and bring his team back. Dumps it off incomplete. Kitna started to run, and then he saw Arlen Harris open, and throwing on the run, he threw it down at his feet, and it's incomplete.
And Sam, here's what the Bears have played with all year, but not today. This is the cover 2 defense with the 2 deep safeties. You got your corners rolled up. Really, you end up dropping 7 guys and rushing 4. And we haven't seen that last week. We didn't see it this week at crunch time, only because, again, listening to Ron Rivera and Lovie Smith, they want to show their defense some different things for a postseason run.
Lions dump it off again. Big hit. Vasher knocks down Arlen Harris after a pickup of about 4 yards up to the 24-yard line.
And that's how all the Russian coverage works together. They rush 4. They drop the 7 in their zones. They all put their eyes on the quarterback. When he throws, they make the break and come and give some punishing tackling. That's the way that cover 2 is supposed to work. Force it out of his hand to the underneath stuff, and then come up and body rock guys.
3 wide receivers. Kitna under pressure. Throws. Drop. Another drop by Mike Williams. And that's been the story of his short NFL career. He can instill confidence. He's had at least 3 drops, maybe 4 in this game.
And you want to say it's the intimidation factor by the Bears back there, because they do hit so hard on all that underneath stuff, but all these short passes that were not handled. That was the story of the first half of the game. They did not convert on 1 3rd down because of all the drops. And Roy Williams got it straight in the second half. Some of the other guys got it going. Mike Williams has dropped them all day long.
They're going for it on 4th down. 4th and 5. Kitna throws, completes to Dan Campbell, the tight end. He holds on, and it's a 1st down for the Lions. They don't throw a lot of balls to Dan Campbell, but usually when they throw it to him, he holds on. And he's been a solid tight end.
What did Rod Marinelli tell us? That he probably shouldn't even have played this year with that elbow. He said he dislocated his elbow in training camp, Dan Campbell, and we probably should have IR'd him. He's been one of the biggest ingredients in this offense, trying to instill what Rod's trying to get done.
John Kitna, 21 for 35, 236 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's got time, and he's throwing deep for Roy Williams, overthrown. Overthrew by about 5 yards. 2nd down for the Lions on their own 32. Handoff inside of Arlen Harris. Lions have only 1 timeout remaining, but Harris broke a tackle, made it a nice gain up to the 42-yard line, about a yard short of the 1st down line. We 3rd and 1, hurry-up offense for the Lions. Devin Hester is in as the nickel defensive back for the Bears. Kitna steps up, completes it to Mike Furry. He's pulled out of bounds by Nathan Vasher at the 48-yard line. It's a 1st down for Detroit. Bears will complete their season at home next week against the Green Bay Packers. Lovie Smith hoping to get exactly what he wanted, and that is a win. It's never easy for the Bears to win here in Detroit. Four wide receivers in. Pressure on Kitna. Flag on the play. Another flag. Kitna waiting, rolling, and throws it away. It looks to be holding against the Lions, and it is. The Bears are trying to go 13-2. Pressure. Dumped off. Good play by Ian Scott. He wrapped up Arlen Harris. That play went nowhere. And most of the starters have been there all the way on the Bears defense. Anderson becoming a force as a pass rusher. Kitna on 2nd down. Drops it off to Mike Furry, and he's wrapped up by Lance Briggs at the 41-yard line. Lions are out of timeouts. Clock running with 45 seconds. They have to get to the Bears 42 for a 1st down. Kitna has time. Flag on the play. Completes to Furry. He's got 1st down yardage to the Bears 40.
Play. That's a free play. A defender jumped off sides. Left end, I think, Agunlia for Chicago.
At the Bears 40. 34 seconds remaining. Kitna steps up. Lets it go for the end zone for Roy Williams. Incomplete. Overthrown. Double coverage on Roy Williams, Nathan Vasher, and Chris Harris.
It's a good job by Daniel Manning, too, Sam, laying off and not getting any contact on Roy Williams.
At least the winning records are there. On the NFC, you've got losing records and teams still alive. Kitna buys time. Got it to Arlen Harris. He's down to the 31-yard line.
Take a shot in the end zone. I don't think there's enough time with no timeouts left.
All right. Kitna. He throws outside, and Furry goes out of bounds. 1st down at the 22-yard line. So they've got the 1st down, but there's only 7 seconds remaining. They might be able to get 2 plays in.
Here's Furry in the slot, just going to run it out. And very intelligently does not try to buy any more yards on this. Gets out of bounds to preserve a few seconds on the clock. You saw Devin Hester just bail out there, thinking like I was thinking, that they were taking a shot into the end zone.
Mike Furry, 10 catches, 108 yards, his 3rd 100-yard game of the season. 4 wide receivers in. Kidna rolling away from pressure. The game is going to end on this play as he throws it to the end zone, and it's dropped. One last drop.
And Mike Williams had a shot to get it.
He could have been a hero. Instead, it's his 4th or 5th drop of the game.
That's his 5th drop today, and that would have been the biggest play he'd have made in his career. And once again, Mike Williams can't make it happen.
Lions fans can't believe it. They've seen it too many times this season. The Lions are beaten and dropped to 2-13.
Feels so bad, Sam, for John Kitna doing everything he can to buy time. Now he's got Mike Williams. Look at the height disadvantage for Hester. Williams goes up right in his hands.
And Hester, an inexperienced defensive back, misplayed that.
Totally misplayed that.
He went behind the receiver.
Well, listen, when you got to be on that upfield shoulder when you're dealing with a bigger man.
He could have had position. Kitna thought he had it. Williams with a drop, and the Bears have defeated the Lions. Rod Marinelli, he thought it was there. The Lions could have pulled out the win for a Christmas present. Instead, Lovie Smith will go home with win number 13 against his very, very good friend, Rod Marinelli. The Bears are 13-2. The Lions have lost 7 in a row. They're 2-13. We'll be back in just a moment.